Some people say milk tastes...
He never told...
I know beer does. And while that's up for debate, it is a fact that glass milk bottles are better for the environment. There's only one factory still in New Zealand bottling milk, and the rumour mill in the mainland says that it's about to close. Now, there hasn't been any bottled milk in the North Island since 1998. In the South Island, it seems they'll never be ready to say goodbye to glass. This from Jendi Harper.
Here's a sound you haven't heard in the North Island for 7 long years. A sound they still hear in the south.
Tastes better.
Really?
Yes, you haven't got that plastic taste.
But for how much longer? The word on the street is that bottles are about to get the big heave-ho for good.
Nothing concrete from the company. No one said yes they are or no they're not.
Meadow Fresh runs the country's last remaining milk bottling plant. Closure fears have surfaced since the business was taken over a few months back by billionaire Graham Hart and his dairy foods company.
If the Greens have our way, then we would be bringing in deposits on all beverage containers. So if Graham Hart's looking to improve his bottom line, he's better off keeping his washing plant, because he'll have to put a new one in a few years' time if we can get our waste minimisation bill into law.
Sure.
Rod's a regular at this Christchurch cafe where they rattle through 160 bottles of milk a day.
It's faster, it's more bitter, it holds the coldness in the milk, and it's just more flowy.
It is an icon. Not quite like the Buzzy Bee, but it's worth preserving.
Drop in some chocolate mix, add a straw, and you have a skiddy. If you want hairs on your chest or just a milky moustache, you can take it straight. Staff at the C1 cafe make their coffee with a conscience.
Are you the only cafe using glass?
Yeah, I think we're the only ones that do use bottle at the moment, so I guess we're the bottled cafe. It looks more stylier, it's more cool, instead of just having these plastic...
So glass bottles are cool?
Oh, definitely, man. I mean, we got glass bottles. I've been around for centuries.
The rattle of milk cans and bottles and horses' hooves were a familiar early morning sound in New Zealand suburbs.
They were certainly around last century.
Neither rain, nor sleet, nor hail could deter the milkman from his daily round.
It may not have been the fastest milk cart in the West, but it was a comforting Kiwi sight. And in many towns and cities throughout the South Island, it still is.
My Auckland friends think it's a real novelty, and they remember it. But yeah, they really like to go to the window and watch the milk being delivered. They think it's great.
The home delivery trade bottles are about 65%.
So would it be worth your while to continue if you didn't have bottles?
We'd have to see. It's a scary time for vendors, because we don't know if we're all going to be here or whether there's only going to be half of us here.
Mainlanders have protested against plastic in the past. Now, once more, the blood in these parts is curdling. Bottle lines are drawn.
The first stop will be the mayors of the South Island, urging them to put pressure on Meadow Fresh to keep the milk in glass as a way of keeping the waste volumes down.
And keeping milkies in business, and a whole generation of Kiwi kids in pocket money to spend on sweets, milk bottles, of course.
Well, we did speak to Ross Townsend today. He's the operations manager for New Zealand Dairy Foods. He wouldn't appear on camera to confirm whether or not glass milk bottles are going to go. All he'd tell us is, and repeatedly he said this, we don't have a comment to make.